do a quick follow-up. My throat seems way down somewhere this morning. Quick follow-up to last night. It finally got dark. What I would call almost dark. Just after midnight. And but rather than being dark, I think it was probably just the lowest light level of the day. I remember coming to about 3 o'clock, quarter past this morning, and the light levels had started to rise a bit, so probably only 2 or 3 hours of, if you could call it that, real darkness up here at the moment, which I suppose contrasts with the winter when they might only get 4 or 5 or more hours of daylight. Anyway, I don't know if you can see. You see the mist typically here, but I think this window is a bit grubby on the outside. You can't see clearly through it, so I do apologise for the quality of that. But can you see these cheeky chappies flying around? These little darts that are flying around here. We've got a colony of house martins here, and they're obviously out catching flies and midges on the wing, coming back to the hotel, up to the eaves, feeding their young, and then dropping off again to get some more. Hopefully you can see that. They won't stand still for us, I'm sorry, you know, but never film with children, animals and birds, they say, don't they? But I can hope you see these little black arrows flying around every now and again. And there's several up there at the moment. Lovely to see them. We used to have house martins in my block in Eastbourne, but not for many years. Anyway, onwards and upwards.
The Dornoch Bridge over the Dornoch Firth, when it was opened in 1991, was the last of the road improvements at that time to the A9. It immediately shortened the journey north by 26 miles, but relegated Ardgay and Dornoch Bridge to almost village status. There's no doubt it's a spectacular bridge, and in these photographs you will have seen it in the distance, and we're standing at the Dornoch viewpoint. This is on the, I'm not going to call it a mountain road, I'm going to call it the road through the hills, which actually cuts off the the road up through Tain and then coming along the Firth through Fern, and it gives us the opportunity to have some really good views round. It's quite something else standing here. Much as I love Wales, and I really do, Scotland is a different kind of place. It gives you a different feeling. Everything seems on a bigger scale, I don't know why, but it's breathtaking. I really can't say any more than that.
Yeah, if not better, you know. You can see it on like the shortbread tins and the whiskey balls, you know, the films, but when you actually hear it, it's
oh, it's going to pull out.
We're not stopping here, we will be stopping a bit further on. We're just letting this truck round because we don't want to hold him up. We're not in any hurry, and he's at work of course, so we just let him round and get on with his job. Oh, his name's Job, look. JF Job. It's a coincidence. Probably.
This is looking further in the Dornoch Firth. The last viewpoint I took stills, but this one you've got to take video. And you notice how
crystal clear and reflective the waters are because of the peat. And that's looking towards Leg and Dornoch Bridge. There's the evidence, pinching heather. Well, we had a toilet stop here, but who needs the toilet when you can explore a railway station? And this is Ardgay, or Ardguy, however when you pronounce it. It was opened in 1864 as Dornoch Bridge and designed by a gentleman called Joseph Mitchell. Now, Dornoch Bridge, well over a mile away from here, and it took until 1977 before it was more accurately renamed Ardgay. And there's about 7 or 8 trains a day in various directions from here, so not exactly a little used station. I had to come here to Ardgay station, Ardgay. Most unusual. It's built of the local stone, but in a kind of Swiss chalet style, a bit like the Linton and Barnstaple. But it gives you an idea of how important the town once was. It was a market town, and gone down in importance now, but I guess there's still enough people travel on the trains up here, and interesting selection of stones. I don't know what it represents, but it's, there we are. Very interesting. Shame we don't have a train about, but... Well, if you can hear me above the noise down below, welcome to the Falls of Shinn. We're just a little north of Dornoch Bridge, right in the Highlands of Scotland, and this apparently is supposed to be famous. They have a salmon ladder here, and apparently we should be able to hopefully see some salmon leaping up the river. I bet we won't, just because I'm here filming today, but look at the surrounding place. This is a deep river gorge. Imagine how over thousands of years that water has carved out the gorge there. Somebody's fishing up there.
great.
I'm looking somewhere in the middle of that lot now.
They're easier to see in the white, but you can see them over.
Oh look, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we just got one there.
Yeah. They're easy to see them in the white, but that definitely saw that, didn't you?
There's definitely a salmon leak there. This is a sheer force of that. Salmon resting pools there, and down there. No smoked salmon to see tonight.
This bridge, Pegasus, this bridge, Dornoch Bridge, it always reminds me of the Pegasus Bridge in France. Was it you? Very similar to the old Pegasus Bridge. It may be the same design, I'm not so sure, but definitely not the same period.
This is actually the third bridge here, dates from 1973. We are in Sutherland, on the other side is Ross and Cromarty.
Welcome to Dornoch. Quite an interesting place, and we're here in the main square. I'm sorry for any wind noise. Like I say, the sticky on the wind muffs has come away and they've fallen off, and everything's been fine up to now, but there's just a little breeze getting up. I don't know what that bird was. Oh, house martins again. You might see one or two of them. They're after the little insects and midges that are flying around. That's a nice little stream here. So many of these things here in the Highlands. But look at the local stone and the style of the building. It's quite unique. There's a bit of a church down there, and that's a jail over there now. I think it's used as civil offices, but that was the old Dornoch Castle. Quite interesting. And if you go down that road there, I've no idea how far down. I might go and have a look later if I've the time. That, sorry for the shake, that goes down to Dornoch Beach. But right now I'm going to find the cathedral. I had to show you this garden. Look at these lovely roses here. Are they nice? And then the far end of the castle there. But I'm going to walk up this little, bit too big to call it a twitten, alley kind of thing, and this will bring me to the cathedral. Just take a slow walk up to it. It's a strange town this. It's twisty, turny little narrow streets, apart from one or two main roads through, but That's the high street over there. Chemist and other little shops. And here is the graveyard. Well, that must sound on the half hour and then chime the time on the hour. But yes, Dornoch Cathedral. I'm going to take a closer look at that. There's what appears to be the main entrance. There's some stained glass windows there, covered on this side with mesh. And right the way up there. Sadly it's not open, so we can't get in. But very small place. And a nice cathedral. I have no idea exactly what this is. It appears to be providing water for animals, dogs maybe. I thought it might be a drinking fountain, but it actually just looks like a giant bird table. The water comes in the middle bit and some of it flows out down the bottom. See if you look at this closer here, you can see that. That's probably for dogs to drink from, and the water goes in there. Certainly not for human drinking, but there is this, presented by Miss Georgina Anderson, 1892. A very ornate light on the top. This is the kind of thing I like, nice and quirky. And there's another entrance here with a locked and bolted gate. I don't want you to go in. And that's this end. Interesting. I had to laugh at this. Welcome to Dornoch's Co-op. And then you see this A board down here. It says, this is Seattle's best coffee. Seattle being on the northwest coast of the United States. They're very generous of them to send it all over here. And here's the other side. Quite a curiosity, because it's certainly not a city, that's for sure. But anyway, that's Dornoch Cathedral. But I'm in the high street now, and just looking down. And obviously there's a lot of cars here, but you look at the shops. This reminds me very much of Castletown in the Isle of Man. The tiny side streets, but with cafes and that, people sitting out having coffee. It makes it feel like quite a relaxing kind of place. Shame about these cars, it makes it difficult to take video of the actual buildings, but let's see what we can do. They're narrow streets, but there doesn't seem to be any particular one-way system. Oh. Everything seems to rely very much on good manners here. There's some kind of Celtic relic. There's the Mercat Cross. Yeah. That tells you all about this. There it is. Yeah. Right. Continue our walk. Milk and honey. That's another little restaurant place. Carnegie legacy lives on here. Mr. Carnegie, the well-known philanthropist, after whom Carnegie Hall is named in the States. Had a lot of land around here at one time. Let's have a look here, shall we? So here I am at the old Dornoch railway station building, and as you can see from the information here, there's a little branch line that until around about 1960 went up onto a station known as the Mound on the old Highland Railway on the north of Scotland line. Now, the Mound was most unusual because seems to be, from what I've seen of the pictures, it's just a single platform.
Sorry to interrupt here, but excuse me. Sometimes when you're talking out, no means of checking anything, you can easily talk out your backside like I just have. The Mound actually had a single platform on the main line, but there was also a single platform where the Dornoch line curved in, and it did connect with the main line for onward connection for goods, etc. But there were also a couple of sidings, and that's what made it possible to change over the dining cars.
But this was the place until, I suppose, well into the 60s, when they still had locomotive haul trains on the north of Scotland line, the far north of Scotland line. This was one of the places where they would often attach and detach the restaurant cars. So you have this little platform in the middle of nowhere, was a terminus for a branch line to Dornoch, excuse me, but it was also a place where they serviced and turned round restaurant cars on the trains to well, Inverness, I guess, and possibly London.
which makes it just a little more interesting than the average branch line. Anyway, this is the old station platform, and if I just walk through here, I guess this is very much the edge of the platform as it was. The building has obviously been added to over the years because it's now a chiropractic clinic. But if I just come back over here, come to one side, there we've got a nice clear view of it. Dornoch railway station. That's a shame that the line closed, because I reckon now, especially as a tourist line, this would do very well indeed. But I look out for these things while I'm away, and you never know what you might find. I hoped I might see a railway relic while I'm here, and I found it. Here's Mum, making soft calls to her offspring. Stay close. She's seen me, so she views me as a potential threat. Excuse me, so I'm staying quite still. I'm assuming this is Mrs. Mallard and one offspring, but she seems a little bit small for a mallard, because up here you get eider duck and all sorts of things. But, I think I'll go with mallard for that one. And we'll leave them in peace. That's an interesting building up there. I can't really get any closer, but that tower there. Interesting. The lady just walked in front of me rather than behind me, but didn't get her anywhere because she wasn't in the shot. Now, Queen Victoria must have loved this place. She made it a royal borough, and there's yet another quirky building right on the corner there. I had noticed that first time round. This was the old post office. And we have two K6 red telephone boxes. And from one of them you can make a phone call. And from the other one you can also make a phone call, but it doesn't take cash. But where else are you going to find two red telephone boxes, both of which you can make a call from? Well, we're heading back now to Strathpeffer, and we're actually crossing the Dornoch Bridge that you saw in the distance earlier. Unfortunately, Jerry, bless him, decided at this point to play a soundtrack from Andy Stewart, and because of that, of course, I've had to take it out because of copyright problems and performing rights licenses and all the rest of it. So sit back and enjoy this calming music as we cross the bridge, which not only takes us to the other side of the Dornoch Firth, but it takes us to the other end of this video, which I hope you've enjoyed. Join me on the next one.